Unstoppables, where we turn intention into dollars. My name is Bill Woodich, and if you want to become an unstoppable force in sales, you're going to get met with that irresistible object. Boom. It's called rejection. Rejection occurs, or is that the irresistible force that meets the unmovable object? That's what it is. You're going to be the irresistible force. Thanks for the July 5th hangover. You're going to get hit with that immovable object at some point. And that point is going to be that time when you either walk away, try to bull your way through it, understand and learn from it, and then regroup, wiser for the experience, go forward again. It's called rejection. And your rejection occurs in three places. It's people who reject you out of hand, or people that reject you because they don't need or value the product, or they're not willing to pay the price. So you haven't raised their bar of certainty. You haven't given them the value. But beyond that, sometimes you just can't do it. That's intellectual honesty. Sometimes you're not going to be able to make that product work for that person. You're not going to be able to make the price work for that budget. And much of that's going to come from this. It's my law of numbers. Now, my law of numbers and my law of percentages, 33 1/3% of people will buy from you because they like you, they want to be like you, or they see you in themselves. It's like seeking like. So they're like you. It's about 33 1/3%. There's going to be 33 1/3% on the other side. 33 1/3% who aren't going to like you by the way you look, something that goes way back to their times through their DNA of this is a threat, this is something or someone I should fight, someone I should flee from. They're not going to adhere or grab onto you, the person, and you know this in sales. They have to buy you before they ever buy the message. They're going to buy the messenger before they ever buy the message. And if they're not open to, if they're shut down at that base of their instinctive level of the brain, that reptile brain, and they're not open to, you're done. There are 33 1/3% in my law and way of thinking who are not going to buy from you. But there's a middle 33 1/3%. So you have 66 2/3 available if you take the ones that will buy, that are open to, that are immediately have you've experienced chemistry with them from the start. In the middle, they're the ones that are unsure. Are they going to buy from you, or they're going to buy from someone, but it may not be you. You have to make yourself authentic. You have to be authentic. You have to be that person that mirrors that word to deed every time, be consistent, and have a valuable product. And the first place the product becomes valuable is here, because you are the product in sales. You are. You're going to get hit with that thud of rejection. And rejection stings, because no matter who tells you this, it's personal, it's emotional, and people buy from emotion first. You start to take it so personal, though, because you're not doing enough. You're not doing enough calls. You're not knocking on enough doors. You're not getting in front of enough people. So that 33 1/3% rule over 100 calls means you've got about 33 people who are open to listening to some of your message, and another 33 who maybe at some point, if you don't give up, and then 33 1/3% just aren't going to do it. You've got to keep moving, and you've got to stay high on activity. Your activity is going to influence your success. Your activity is the key to expanding your base of people. So your 33 1/3%, those people who are going to be like you, who want to hear from you, and then evaluate the product and the pricing really with the preferred treatment of how they think of you, that's going to be the base that you expand. Rejection is the key, foremost, and formidable object that you have to seek. Because if you don't find it, you're not going to sell. Every no brings you closer to a yes if your mindset is such. And if it's not, rejection is going to sting. It's going to become that emotional laceration that you wear, and it is going to stymie and eventually stop your progress. The more you make, the more calls you make, the more activity you have, the more you get in the groove of understanding this is a game. It's a game and still a law of numbers, not personal. The closer you're going to get to being rejection proof. I've seen people that I've worked with, and I've experienced this over 23 years, who will come in and take every rejection so personal that they just shut things down and won't make and do what's necessary in terms of calls or activity to become successful. See, there's a bargain. There's a trade-off. To get a client, to work and earn a person's trust, you've got to understand that not everybody's going to like you. I know this is hard for you to believe, but not everyone likes me. Well, I know, that's tough. My assistant is laughing because she knows that probably no one likes me today. But maybe it's the tie. But not everyone will like you. And I'm going to bring her back here in about 2 minutes, and she's going to talk to you about a course that we've done on rejection, and a course that we're doing, it's in process right now, on sales. Because those two things, sales and rejection, go hand in hand. How you handle rejection is going to influence how you do in sales or in life, because you're going to get hit. You're going to meet that immovable object. You can be the irresistible force if you understand that you can't turn every no into a yes. You can turn most maybes into yeses, but you can't turn every no into a yes. It is the inexperienced. It is the person who's a neophyte. It is a person who is a Pollyanna who believes you can. Judicious wisdom born from experience has shown me that you can't, and you're wasting your time. Now, I grew up in the back barnyards, I say, the forests of western Pennsylvania. So as kids, we used to build barns. We were surrounded by farmers, kind of farm territory, woods territory. It was a real, I don't want to say Paul Bunyan, but Mark Twain type of existence with streams and horses, stuff like that. And there's a saying that I learned on those barnyards. And the saying is this: son, you can't teach a pig to sing. Start thinking about that. What does that mean? Because all you're going to do is waste your time and annoy the pig. You can't turn every no into a yes, because people are unwilling or unable, that's often the same thing, to listen to the message, let alone buy it. Without further ado, I think she's dressed for the occasion. Come back here, Kelsey McDaniel, and help me out as you normally do. Normally, Kelsey is on the Bill Woodich show, and she became so big she's got her own show now on Mondays with Chris Zender, Millennials and Money.
It's my favorite.
So, she doesn't like doing my shows. Kelsey,
no, I love doing your shows.
What is the most important thing we do in sales? What's the most important thing that we have to do?
Cold call.
Cold call. You've got to create opportunity for yourself, and you've got to do it by expanding the base, your universe of suspects, because you've got to first know the difference between a suspect and a prospect. A suspect is someone that you think is a prospect. You don't know who they are. You just have a name. The name could be right. Maybe it's not right. Title. You don't know anything about them. Never met them. They're a suspect. They don't become a prospect until you do what?
Until you qualify. So what you were saying with activity ruling success, and there are some people that you cannot sell to. Don't waste your time. Move on. So you need to learn how to qualify a conversation and an opportunity, right?
Right. Because qualify, if you take qualify and break it apart as an acronym by every letter, Q is your ability to question. You love this part, right?
No, I love this part, but I'm trying to sell something, and I know you, and you're going to give it away for free, so that's why I'm smiling.
We're going to give you the Q. Q is your ability to question. U is your ability to understand. A to answer. L to listen. I, you can't qualify. Integrity. F, you have to always follow up. And then if you do that, you sell. The rejection course that we've built, the sales course that we're building that will be ready to go when?
The 25th of
the
July.
25th.
Yeah.
Has the most important piece in sales, the centerpiece in sales. The Latin term is sine qua non, without which not. That means if you don't have this in place, you don't run this system, you don't do it, you don't sell. It's the ability to qualify. Most salespeople, the biggest angst, the biggest frustration of sales managers today, the biggest time suck for the producer, the salesperson, and the sales manager and the company is in the inability to qualify a conversation, as Kelsey said, from a real opportunity. People may speak with you, they may speak at you, to you, just to get information from you with no intent to take out their wallet and buy from you. Mm-hmm. No intent. Qualify is a process, so it's going to take you through that initial meeting, give you and show you where the red flags are, where the action has to follow what they say, and when it doesn't, where you're compelled to dig deeper into the process and ask those questions, and we'll give you those questions that bring the answers, and we'll tell you what some of the answers could be that bring you to qualify and close. And you have to exert your ability to walk away from a bad position because, and this is key and crucial, if you don't have enough activity, every conversation looks like an opportunity when it's not, because you don't have enough in your pipeline. So everything, because your fear is coming out. You're desperate. You're greedy. You need to make this look like it's the prospect that's going to become your client because you got to make the quarter. You got to make the quota. And you're not going to do it because you don't have enough in your suspect funnel to become prospects to then become qualified into clients. There it is. Right?
Exactly. And in the courses...
Don't just agree with me to agree. Agree because you know I'm right.
What were you saying to me before we
weak.
started? I knew it was going to be that.
Don't agree with me because you're
weak. Yeah, I hear that about 3 times a day.
That's from a movie.
Oh, it is?
Don't want to give that away. That was me, didn't you?
Yeah, I really did. So one thing that we're really excited about in this course is that Bill actually teaches you how to have the conversations, because you can understand the idea, right, of, I need to have an authentic sales voice. But until you view the course and actually have Bill walk you through what it really means to have an authentic sales voice and how to develop that through cold calling, it's going to be a lot easier for you to determine whether or not somebody just has an interest or an intent to buy. So be on the lookout. The Wooditch Network Facebook page, the website, Twitter. On Monday, the 10th, we're going to launch a email sign-up list. So when you see that on Facebook or Twitter or on the website, that announcement that we're taking names for this course, just enter in your first and last name and your email address, and then you'll be the first to know when that course becomes available. And
I'm going to be intellectually honest with you. The thing that frustrates me the most, and you're probably the
besides
thing that,
me.
Well, yeah, you're one of the things. one of the things. But the things that frustrate me the most, the people that frustrate me the most, and it's got to be the same people that frustrate you. The same reason why you listen to something like this and you say that's got to be bullshit. Here's another guy trying to sell me snake oil. Is because 99% of the people that I've seen on this network, not on my network, but seen on this platform, on social media. Man, they're consultants. They haven't done shit. They haven't done anything. They've never sold anything. But they're going to tell you how to sell things. They're going to tell you how to build things. I don't blame you for turning off the sets at that point, for shutting down your computer and saying, you know what, this is all the same stuff. No. See, I'm in this stuff every day. Every day I got to do this. If I don't do this, then I don't eat. And I built a company by doing this. I built a lifestyle by doing this. What I'm going to share is mine. It's what I created as a rookie salesperson at Liberty Mutual, a company that I became the #1 salesperson in 2 years. And they said, what's the difference between you and the rest of these guys who aren't closing? It's the ability to qualify, period. Well, they pulled me out of that office and said, you're going to teach it. Hence, here I am. But I went on to do things in sales because I understood that 33 1/3% law, that you can't be that person for everybody. I understood when to withdraw when I wasn't, and I understood how to push forward subtly to get to that point by asking those questions through this process. There's as much and as closely aligned to a courtship process as anything I know. An old-fashioned courtship isn't Tinder, it isn't Bumble. It's a way to move closer to that date, closer to the aisle through a process. I always say you don't want to get up to the aisle, lift the veil, and then guess, is that really what I'm marrying? Same thing in process, same thing in qualifying, same thing in closing. No, this is the real deal. I will give you all my credibility, all my background, let you vet me. Do it. I would never want anybody to buy my product if it didn't work for them. I wouldn't want them to buy my product unless they knew who I am, who I was, who I think I am, most important. I don't know where I went with that. You don't know where I went with that. We're going to come back at you. We're going to drill really hard at this because I think it's something that is really, really worth your time. It will only be worth your time if you do it. It's only worth your time if you do it and it has a value for you. If it doesn't mean anything. Most of my sales, if not all, have come from telling people what I'm not. I'm not the biggest. I'm not the best at doing X, Y, and Z. I can't fix this, but this is what I can do. And it's that niche that I can do well that I'm sharing with you. And that's sales. This is Bill Woodage with
Kelsey McDaniel.
Be Unstoppable. We're going to show you how to turn those intentions into
dollars.
There you go.